What is up, people? We have another vehicle in today. This one is getting a one-step paint correction and of course a ceramic coating. It's actually getting a 3-year ceramic coating, and then this car shouldn't be as long as the previous one that I have a YouTube video up for. If you have not watched that one, make sure to go watch that one. I'll put it in the description. This vehicle is not too dirty as well, and it's not getting an interior, so which is why it would be easier. We're having 2 new products today too. I got a flex polisher, the wireless 3-inch that can convert into a rotary NDA, along with Dr. Beasley's polish. We're gonna try to see if that will one-step, because that is what the customer's getting. If not, we'll use it another time to where we can use it, but it is a primer polish, so it should make things a lot easier in the future when we can use it. But besides that, this is the vehicle. It's not very dirty. I'll show you some things around it, and then we can start with the washing, of course. Wheels aren't too dirty. They're a little dusty, but besides that, it's just typical road grime. Moving into the lower panels, you do see a little bit of grime, but it's nothing crazy. There's definitely worse vehicles that come in rougher shape. Besides that though, the paint is pretty shiny already actually. It is a little contaminated. As I am feeling the car, I can feel some grit on it. But besides that, all around, it's just clear. It looks shiny from a distance, but of course we all know that's going to be a lot different when we check through the detailing lights. So let's begin the wash. So as Griffin's doing the wheels, I'm gonna go ahead and explain what we are gonna do after the wheels are clean. I have 2 foam cannons. The first one is an MTM foam cannon, and in here is a dilution of Couch Chemi Green Star. So Green Star is an all-purpose cleaner. In here I typically dilute it 1 to 10, or sorry, 10 to 1, 20 to 1. It depends. I just usually eyeball it, but it's typically around there. That's just enough to clean off dirt and grime. So essentially you want to foam this on there, get rid of the thin layer of dust, dirt, grime before we do the contact wash, and we have to actually touch the paint. We want to get rid of as much dirt, that way we can limit these scratches we put on there, or just not put any scratches at all. Not only does it do that, but it also breaks down any waxes, sealants, whatever protection might be on there. Because we're about to put on a very long form of protection, a ceramic coating, which will last a couple years. Whereas if there's like a wax or sealant on there that lasts a couple months, we want that off. We want the ceramic to bond to the paint, not whatever's on top of the paint. So this will kill whatever type of wax or sealant was on there. After that, we use the black lime foam cannon to foam up a pH neutral shampoo. And here's Couch Chemi Gentle Snow Foam, the Christmas edition. So I'll put that on there, do the contact wash, and then of course we'll go to the next step afterwards. But that's what we're gonna do right now. There we are. We are foaming down the Couch Chemi Green Star. What that is gonna do is emulsify the first layer of dirt. Not that this car is very dirty, but this is just the safest way that I like doing it. You can also use an IK foamer to go ahead and do that. but we're gonna let this sit on the paint, let it dwell for about, I don't know, 3 minutes, maybe up to 5 minutes, and then rinse it off before we go on to the contact wash.
If you guys are liking this type of content and you would love to see more in the near future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that like button. It is really appreciated. It does take quite a bit of time to make these videos, record them and edit them. So it's really appreciated if you could show some support.
And you guys already know, this is detailing. So we get everything, and that includes the gas cap. That's right. Look at that. Next step is our decontamination step. That is this. This is the chemical decontamination. We also do something called a physical decontamination, but the first will be the chemical. This is Smooth Move. It's by Shine Supply. Any iron decontaminator works. What this will do is get rid of any brake dust or iron fallout that's on top of the paint, because again, that is chemical, or not chemical, but that is contamination on the paint that we need to get rid of if we want to have a good coating life. All you do with the iron decon, of course, is you go ahead and just spray it on the paint. A nice light mist, and it'll get to work. You go ahead and actually do the whole rest of the car, and you want to let this stuff dwell on the paint for at least, I don't know, 5 minutes, a good 5-6 minutes, and you want to let it do its work. You will actually see when it starts working, the chemical inside it reacts with iron particles and changes colors to red. This is white paint, so this is going to be a great example to see how the iron starts coming off. So I'll show you guys what that looks like if there's any red iron particles that come up. Little side note for those of you that are maybe just getting into detailing or don't know much, this stuff not only works well, but it stinks well. It smells like sulfur, basically, rotten egg. Yeah, it smells really bad, but that's that chemical that reacts and gives that red color, so we know that the iron is getting, decontaminated off, but it just has a side effect of the smell. I know some brands out there have taken out that reactive part of that chemical that makes it turn red, because that red turning chemical is not necessary for the iron decontamination to work. All it is an indicator. So Detail Studios, which is a detailing brand, has done that. They do make one that does not smell at all. I just like having that indicator so I physically see with my eyes what's going on. That's it. But you don't have to go through the smell if you don't want to. Like I said, Detail Studios makes iron decontaminator that does not smell. You can actually see it looks like the paint is bleeding. Those are iron particles basically getting melted right off with that chemical. Look at that. It looks like I said, the paint is bleeding. It's red. And you can see specks of iron that were on there. Right there. That probably was like a tiny rust spot that came probably from the brakes. As the driver was braking, they get into the air. Those hot particles of iron cling onto the paint and just etch in there. What we're doing is basically taking that out. And this is how you know that the product is working. It turns red. It's worse on this panel too. You guys can definitely see all that red stuff coming out of the paint. That's all that iron. This whole side is actually more worse, I would say. I'm starting to see more and more red speckles coming out. And the final step of contamination is the clay bar process. This is a synthetic clay mitt. It's basically simulating a clay bar, except it's light duty, not a heavy duty one. What we're doing is taking off that sandy or grit you might feel, sandy or gritty texture that's on paint. Sandy, gritty paint is a sign that there is contamination on the paint, whether it be sand, the iron stuff that we just talked about, or any other particles that have been embedded into the paint. What this is doing is removing all that. So we're going to do that to the whole vehicle, and then we can finally dry it up and get to the polishing. I want to show you guys this product here. It's called Quick Beads. Now this customer is not getting a wheel ceramic coating, so we still want to provide them with something to protect their wheels and make it easier to clean. This is not a ceramic coating, it is a ceramic sealant. It has graphene particles in it. It's by DIY Detail. They're a pretty great company. They have great quality things. What this will do is act like a ceramic coating for a certain amount of time, usually a few months, a few weeks, whatever it may be, however much the wheels might see. And essentially, you rinse whatever it is, either the paint or the wheels. In this case, the paint is getting a ceramic coating. It does not need a sealant, but the wheels aren't, so. Once the surface is wet, we go ahead and spray on the ceramic sealant. We let it dwell from anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. And once we've given it time to finally dwell on there, make its bonding, you can go ahead, rinse it. What you see is total beading, as if it got fully ceramic coated, including the barrels. It's all beading up, and this is gonna make the washing process of the wheels so much more easier for the next time. It's gonna give them nice gloss and clarity as well. Just to show you guys how much more easier this becomes, if you have something like an air compressor, drying the wheels becomes so much more easier. You can go with air actually if it's ceramic coated or if it has a ceramic sealant. So this not only cleans the wheels, gives them gloss, but it makes it a lot easier to maintain and dry them after the washing process. And I don't exactly know how well this shows up on camera, especially being that it's white paint, but you can see more fine swirls on the driver's side door. These are some of the imperfections we're going to be fixing. And it looks like you can notice them slightly more when I change the color temperature to be a little warmer like this with the light. So you can see those fine swirls slightly better in the white paint, especially somewhere like right here. You see this whole area having lines that run across side to side. Those are the scratches we are talking about. So let's get to fixing those for sure. As you can see, I just opened up this box. This is actually the new polisher I just got. I believe it retails for around 400 bucks. It is a wireless polisher. And the coolest part, it's a quick connect, as you can see. Meaning you can switch very quickly, with the quick connect to a rotary, dual action. You can switch to a 1-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch very quickly. Whereas with the Rupes Nano Hybrid, you're having to use the tool, unscrew your rotary, put on the dual action, or unscrew the 2-inch pad, put on the 1-inch pad, and so on and so forth. Interesting thing about this polish is the amount that you actually go ahead and put on. That's all you need, and this spreads very, very far. Traditionally, we go ahead and put 3-4 pea-sized dots on there to go ahead and polish the panel, or at least a section of it. This one spreads really far and actually gets harder to use if you put on too much. If you've seen Dr. Beasley's videos on how to use their products, especially this one, that's exactly what they show, that it becomes more difficult to remove if you put on more product like a traditional polish. It's very interesting, and it makes sense too because they give you only 8 ounces. That's the biggest size you can get, and most people would think, how is this their biggest size? Well, it's because you're not using that much. In some cases, when you're using especially even a foam pad, just this much can usually do half a panel, sometimes a whole panel, and I've seen people do that, and it actually works. So this stuff is definitely different from your typical polish.
And I think it's a good time to mention for those of you potentially looking to do this type of work that this job took me around, I would say 10 hours or so, maybe even more because I am recording and trying to make content at the same time. So that's just a side note for any of you curious. Again, if you're liking this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It really means a lot since I do spend a lot of time making these videos in hopes that they're enjoyable. So thank you for tuning in this far.
The only thing left for us to prep is the windshield. That is getting a windshield ceramic coating as well. So we're gonna go ahead and polish that up with a glass polish. This is by PNS. It is the Clarify Cream. It is a glass polish. It preps the glass for a coating. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Now that everything is practically done, prepped, polished, whole 9 yards, it's finally time to do the ceramic coating. This stuff is absolutely phenomenal. It does well. It can last anywhere from 3 to 5 years. For me, I quote it as a 3-year ceramic coating, and I can always trust that it's gonna last that long. It is a phenomenal coating by G-Technic. The glass, we are using a G-Technic coating as well. It is G1 and G2. It's a 2-part system. One is the actual ceramic, the other one is the residue remover. This is phenomenal coating. It should last anywhere from 1 to 2 years. Give that beading effect on your windshield and make it a lot safer as you drive on the highway or any road really. And it's raining, it'll give you top clarity and visibility outside your windshield. Without any more time wasted, let us go ahead and start the ceramic coating process.
100 grams.
We are finally done ceramic coating the vehicle, but we are not fully complete with the entire process. We still need to add some tire shine, and I'm gonna let you guys know a really nice tire shine that is out on the market at the moment. The product we are going to be using today for the tire shine is called Blackout. It's by the brand Detail Studios. I've actually had an opportunity to talk to the owner. He's a super cool guy. He's actually an owner of a detailing business. He's been detailing for I think 20 years or more. He works out of Washington State. But that's besides the point. This is a really great product. I have been using it for the past few weeks on tires or exterior trim, and it works phenomenal. It does not sling either. So you can use it straight like what I'm gonna do, or you can do 50-50 if you want less gloss out of it. But even straight up, it's not like too glossy. It's not like straight up just greasy looking. It's still somewhat of a satin, but at the same time a little bit of a gloss. But if you do want more satin, just make sure to dilute it down 50-50. I'm just gonna use the applicator that I use for the ceramic coating, except the other side. This is garbage anyway, so I might as well put some use to the other side. Right now it's a little bit wet, but in a few minutes it'll completely dry. It'll be dry to the touch. Will not sling if you continue to, take this out and drive it as well. So it's pretty good. It's only been about 3 minutes on the tires, and it's, again, dry, nothing. Obviously in the cracks here, I might have put a little too much. That might take a few more minutes to fully dry out. But overall, one thin layer, then boom, nothing. This is completely dark. You can see right here that this is faded, and over here it's completely darkened up through the tire shine, and absolutely nothing, no sling. It's completely dry, but at the same time it looks absolutely phenomenal. I truly think that Blackout is a slept-on tire shine. Detail Studios in general, it's a growing brand, but it's definitely slept on. I don't hear many people talking about it. So if you guys are looking for a tire shine, definitely try it out. I am not sponsored by Myron, or I'm not sponsored by Detail Studios at all. I just actually like their products, and if I like something, I'm gonna tell people to use it if they'd like to. We did it. It is finally complete. We can finally say that the whole vehicle is complete. The customer won't be picking it up until tomorrow. That's when everything will be cured. We're just gonna leave it in the shop for the night, look at it in the morning, make sure everything's perfect as can be. But besides that, we're pretty much at the end of the video. If you've gotten to this point, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You can go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, comment. If you have any questions, concerns, what you think about the video in general, share the video to somebody that might learn something today. So if you did make it to the end of the video, like I said again, thank you very much. I'm gonna end it off like always with results of the clips, but until I make another video, see you guys soon.